Jack is an ordinary teenager living a quiet life with his parents and going to school like any other kid. Everything seemed completely normal until the day he returned home. As soon as he stepped inside, he noticed his father sitting silently on the couch. Something immediately felt wrong. Jack hurried over and called out to him, but the terrifying truth hit him hard. His father was already dead. Panic took over as he desperately tried to wake him, yet there was no response. He quickly shouted for his mother, but the house remained silent. Without wasting another second, he rushed upstairs, only to witness an even more horrifying sight. His mother was lying lifeless on the floor, and it was obvious someone had murdered her. Before Jack could even process what was happening, a mysterious man appeared. Jack yelled at him to stay back, but the stranger instantly unleashed a powerful magical attack that hurled him across the room. At that very moment, a blonde-haired boy stepped forward with a cold, emotionless expression and calmly said that he had been searching for Jack for a long time. The blonde boy activated his magic and attempted to seize control of Jack. Just before he could succeed, another young swordsman suddenly burst onto the scene and struck at him. Without hesitation, the blonde boy drew his own blade, and a fierce clash erupted between the two. Their swords collided at incredible speed as neither side showed any intention of backing down. Meanwhile, the mage prepared to strike Jack again, but another warrior appeared out of nowhere and blocked the attack just in time. It quickly became obvious that the mage and the blonde boy were after Jack, while the two warriors were risking their lives to protect him. One of them grabbed Jack's hand and called for his companion. As soon as the other warrior reached them and held onto Jack, the three of them disappeared in an instant. A short while later, Jack slowly opened his eyes and realized he was no longer in his own world. Still overwhelmed with confusion, Jack stood up and looked around, trying to figure out where he was. Before long, the same young man walked over to him again. Jack immediately demanded answers, asking what had happened and where his parents were. The young man introduced himself as Shale and explained that the girl beside him was Allison. He told Jack that they had done everything they could to save his parents, but they arrived too late. The only thing left for them now was to keep Jack safe. Shale also mentioned that Allison couldn't understand Jack's language, which made him the only one capable of speaking with him. Unable to hold back his emotions any longer, Jack broke down in tears and begged Shale to explain everything. Shale then revealed a truth that sounded impossible to believe. He explained that they weren't on Earth anymore. Instead, they were on a distant world called Iden. Years ago, a ruthless tyrant named Marco invaded the planet and claimed it as his own. Many people refused to bow before him and chose to fight back. To wipe out every rebellion, Marco sent his own son, Kartash, the same blonde-haired boy, to hunt down and eliminate anyone who dared to stand against his rule. Shale explained that they believed Jack's parents originally came from their world. According to him, they had once fought against Marco before escaping to Earth in hopes of living peaceful lives, then began talking about Kartash. Even though he was only 15 years old, he had already earned the reputation of being one of the deadliest warriors alive. His incredible speed, cold personality. The mage who accompanied him was named Ryan, his loyal assistant, who was just as cruel and merciless. Still devastated by the loss of his parents, Jack refused to accept this strange new reality and decided he wanted to return home. As he walked away, a girl from another room called out to him, but he couldn't understand a single word she was saying. She slowly approached him and handed him a necklace, signaling him to wear it. The instant Jack placed it around his neck, her words suddenly became clear. She explained that it was a magical artifact capable of translating the language of Idun for anyone who wore it. Jack laughed at the idea of magic, brushing it off as complete nonsense. His reaction immediately irritated the girl. Before either of them could argue any further, Shale stepped in and introduced her as Victoria. Frustrated and unable to process everything happening around him, Jack ignored them and stormed away. As he wandered through the building, he eventually found himself inside a mysterious room on the upper floor. Without anyone touching a thing, the room suddenly lit up on its own, causing Jack to stop for a moment. Curiosity soon got the better of him, and he cautiously reached toward a glowing crystal. The moment his hand touched it, an enormous wave of magical energy burst out. Within seconds, he found himself floating through a strange world filled with majestic dragons and countless mythical creatures. But the peaceful sight quickly disappeared as thick fog covered the sky. Moments later, devastating flames rained down from above, wiping out the dragons one after another. Soon, giant flying serpents emerged and finished off the few creatures that had survived. Jack suddenly snapped back to reality and realized everything he had witnessed was only a vision. Victoria explained that the crystal had shown him an event from 3 years ago when Marco took advantage of a rare alignment of the moons to unleash a massive magical assault on dragons and unicorns, stealing their powers for himself. She went on to explain that two worlds exist, Earth and Idun. While humans on Earth live ordinary lives, the people of Idun possess magical abilities. Marco rules that world with absolute power and sends Kartash to eliminate anyone who dares to rebel against him. Confused, Jack asked why Marco had never attacked the place where they were hiding. Victoria explained that they were inside the dimensional forest, a hidden realm located between both worlds. Powerful magical barriers surrounded it, preventing Marco and Kartash from ever setting foot inside. Jack still refused to believe any of it. Determined to go back home, he jumped out of a window and injured himself. Even then, he kept moving until he reached a glowing magical barrier. No matter how many times he tried, he couldn't pass through it. Completely exhausted and heartbroken, Jack finally dropped to the ground and burst into tears, unable to accept the truth. Victoria quietly sat beside him, trying to comfort him. As they talked, Jack wondered if his parents had really been killed simply because Kartash suspected they were connected to magic, even if they had been living as ordinary people. Victoria then remembered that Kartash only comes to Earth whenever he senses magical energy. Hearing that, Jack suddenly recalled the strange dreams he used to have, and the mysterious flames that would occasionally appear proved that magic truly existed. Victoria cast a healing spell, and within moments, Jack's injuries disappeared completely. Victoria revealed that she originally came from Earth as well. Some time ago, Kartash had attacked her, but Shale managed to rescue her before it was too late. Ever since then, he had been training her to master the power of magic. Not long afterward, Allison approached Jack and apologized for everything he had gone through. Shale explained that Allison was the leader of the resistance. As a gesture of trust, Allison handed Jack a legendary sword and offered to train him. However, Jack had already made up his mind. He wasn't interested in becoming stronger just to protect himself. His true goal was to gain enough strength to defeat Kartash once and for all. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Ryan informed Kartash that Jack's parents had been killed during the mission. Instead of being satisfied, Kartash's expression turned cold with anger. He reminded Ryan that Jack was supposed to be captured alive, not left alone after losing his family. Furious at his actions, Kartash warned him never to make such a decision again without receiving his permission first. The following day, Victoria returned to Earth, where she lived with her grandmother after the death of her parents. She was quietly sitting at a train station, reading a book while waiting for her train to arrive. As soon as the train pulled in, the crowd began moving toward the doors. Among them was a blonde young man who accidentally dropped his phone because he wasn't paying attention. As he hurried to grab it, he unexpectedly bumped into Victoria, causing her to lose her balance and fall onto the railway tracks. The entire station fell into panic. The train was racing toward her, and everyone believed there was no way she could survive. People screamed in fear as the train closed the distance within seconds. But just before it reached her, a glowing magical barrier suddenly formed around Victoria, stopping the impact at the last possible moment. The train slammed.
If you want to the next part, subscribe the channel, please. I want to get those 1 lakh subscriber. Thank you for watching.